What's up, everybody? Marty O'Connor, Sonny Casebauer here at the LA Convention Center for the Abilities Expo. We are Wheel Talks official, and we are here on behalf of EasyStand today. So stoked. How you feeling, Sonny?
I'm feeling excited. It's not very often we ever get in a group with this many people that are similar to us, with similar stories, backgrounds, situations that are just like ours. So it's really exciting to be around that. We actually feel like we're the normal ones.
Yeah,
instead of us always sticking out, right?
Yeah. It really feels like there's a big sense of community here today.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we really want to focus on. I think there's so much to be said for the power of community, especially after you suffer a spinal cord injury or have a disability. It really takes a tribe, you know?
It really does, and I think at first we kind of maybe steer away from some of these communities because we're kind of scared of what reality is for us, because obviously our lives are changing. But once you kind of embrace the community, you're going to find somebody out there, or at least a few people out there that are like-minded, that maybe have similar goals or going through a tough time like you are. So don't be afraid. Come out, embrace your community whenever you have the opportunity, just like we are today.
It's really easy to feel alone as well when you have an injury.
Yeah.
I know right after I got hurt, you know, I had all my friends and family around, but there was no one I could really talk to about things that I was going through.
Yeah.
So until you embrace the community of people that have been there, you know, done that and are still doing it, you know, you really can't communicate and get, you know, you can't really vent to an ear that knows what you've been through and what you're going through. So there's three key things that we want to focus on today when we talk about the power of community. Number one is just from an emotional support factor, you know? I think that's absolutely huge. And two, education. We really want to get into how we can bounce ideas off one another, learn from each other's mistakes, what works, what doesn't work, and then overall, I think awareness is one of the biggest things. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we're gonna tackle these three topics today because we feel like of all of them, these are the most important ones. And we're gonna give our personal accounts on each of them, and we just want to get and continue getting our word out there to help everybody who's listening to this podcast right now. And it's really what we're going to do today. So without further ado, let's jump into number one.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So, hey, as we build awareness, I just want to say, you know, it allows us to like branch together, and we could really take a stand, you know, against the disabilities that are plaguing us. You know, while it empowers us, there's still things that we want to do together. And we want to take a stand and find a cure for one another. And speaking of taking a stand, I think we should do the rest of the podcast in one of these EasyStand frames, man. What do you think?
I think that'd be awesome, man.
I don't think people know how tall we are.
No, I mean, Marty's what are you, 6'2", 6'3"?
6'3".
6'3", you know. I was a full 6'2" back in the day. You know, I might have shrunk because as you get older, you kind of just down a little bit. But we want to get in these things and kind of stretch out and show you guys what it's all about, and kind of give you a little bit of EasyStand 101 etiquette, you know, and kind of show you some of the health benefits and why they're so useful in each and everything that we do.
Let's do it, man. Let's get into those topics, share about EasyStands, and let's do it, baby.
All right.
Guys, here we are standing tall at the Abilities Expo, LA Convention Center with EasyStand. I was gonna get into this podcast. I don't know where Sonny went.
I'll be right there.
It looks like
I'll be right there. I'm coming.
Oh, look, here he comes, guys.
Just give me a second.
Check it out right here. Oh, he's popping up.
Coming.
Sonny's always pumped
getting there.
Up, you know what I mean?
I'm getting there. Yeah.
Cranking it up on the EasyStand glider.
Getting there.
Looking good. Jeez, I felt tall for a second.
Nah. Oh, I tower over you.
See, Sonny had to set his up like 2 or 3 inches higher than me.
Oh, it's all natural.
Just cause, man.
It's all natural.
So, as we were talking about the power of community, the first thing that we wanted to get into was just, I mean, the emotional support factor of community.
Yeah.
You know? Talk to me about your experience with that.
Well, you kind of feel like you're left on the sidelines. There's a lot of FOMO. You feel like you're missing out on everything because you're getting adjusted to your new life. Emotionally, you're just in a different place. What about you?
Yeah, and initially, I feel like your community really dwindles after you get hurt. And I mean, we've touched on that before, but after you get hurt, you really kind of find out who your friends are.
Yeah.
And the people that really care about you stick around.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's not always the case. So you really have to, like, be an advocate for yourself and find your tribe again. You have to find your community. the people that really care about you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm stoked we found each other.
And
At least I found my ride or die in Sunny over
And don't
here.
be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think at first I was kind of like sheltered.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed to like really talk about real emotions and feelings. And I'm shaking like a crazy man right now.
Yeah.
But the more I talked about it, the better I felt.
For sure. And, you know, it's something that I didn't want to talk about initially. Like, I was in denial. I wasn't feeling confident anymore. And, like, I kind of just held on tight to, like, my girlfriend and my close family friends that knew me, because I didn't want to put myself out there in this new light. But until I did, my confidence would never come back. You know, so there's something strong in vulnerability that you need to put yourself out there for, you know?
Yeah, you don't want to find the wrong emotional crutches. Alcohol, relationships that aren't good for you.
Yep.
Find the crutches that are going to make you better.
Yeah.
Family, good friends.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're spiritual, religion, things like that.
Absolutely. And there's so much that helps out. And, you know, like when Sunny and I got connected, I finally had a friend that I could talk to about the deeper stuff that was bothering me that I wouldn't put out there because I just didn't want to put up a front, you know, so.
I remember like we had those 2 a.m. texts, you know what I mean? And like, we're like, hey, I'm hurting today.
Yeah.
Give me some kind of advice or help me through this. And we were there for each other.
Yeah. And it's something you really, truly need. So anyone that's out there, we encourage you to get out, find your community. You know, there's support groups everywhere. I know Triumph Foundation does it.
Yeah.
Does a great job with that. You know, we're always here for you. So if you want to
Absolutely.
connect with us on our Instagram at Wheel Talks Official, you know, we're more than happy to be a support to you and help you guys out. So
100%.
I think what's the second biggest thing, you know, when it gets this? Education.
Education one. Yeah, education.
Education.
I think the biggest thing in that, even if you look back at it, before we got hurt, we knew nothing about spinal cord injuries. Zero. And I think 99.9% of the population is like that too. So educating yourself and knowing your situation the best is going to allow you to spread knowledge to other people, but also get the proper care.
Absolutely. And I mean, we always have to be advocates for ourselves and just like put ourselves out there and find out exactly what works for you. And a lot of that's going to be individualized, but so much can be done just from the power of people that have been through it before, you know, that can like help, you know, tell you like, hey, this is what worked for me. This is the kind of van that worked.
Yeah.
This is the kind of chair. You know, I think, you know, based on your condition, I think this would work for you. And those are like things that unless you put yourself out there and really get into a community, it's going to be hard to find, you know?
Like the more I searched for it when it came to driving again, I found somebody I can mimic. My workouts to my aquatic therapy, there's somebody out there who had done something similar that I put my own like taste to it and developed my own routine.
For sure. And, you know, if it weren't for, you know, putting myself out there into a support group or the, you know, like getting in a community, I would never have found out about the Goodwill Gym.
No.
And I never would have like found out about these EasyStands either.
Yeah.
You know, like getting on my feet, I would never have realized like all the benefits that you know, that put up to us, you know? Like I never would have known like, hey, okay, unless you get on your feet regularly, you know, your circulation's gonna, you know, dwindle. You know, the osteoporosis is gonna creep in.
Absolutely.
And it's something that you need to do on a regular basis.
Yeah, don't be shut in. Don't ignore what's out there.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, there's so much technology. There's so many outlets out there that if you don't reach out to people, you don't learn more about your situation, you're the one that's gonna suffer.
Absolutely. And I just gotta say, the view looks good up here, man.
It does.
Like, how about this air? I feel like this nice mountain air up here, 6 feet up, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice. So, I mean, that's a huge thing for us. So, I mean, you could educate yourself through the power of community. We truly, you know, push you to do so. And one of the biggest things, you know, in branching together is just the overall awareness.
Yeah.
You know, I think as we all come together, we create a larger impact. And the more impact you have, it spreads that awareness on a greater scale. You know, when you start talking about things like cures or equipment that, you know, can facilitate, you know, all the needs of people with disabilities, you know, that power of community brings that awareness to a higher level.
Yeah.
And, you know, together we can all take a stand against these disabilities and help find those cures. And it all starts with just branching together, you know?
The more you talk about it though, do it in a light that doesn't sound like you're crying about your situation or you're a victim. Talk about it in the light that, you know, you want to acknowledge people that they don't maybe know how to talk to you, treat you, deal with you, et cetera, but do it in a way that's educational and have a good tone about it. If you cut them angrily, they're just going to think you're a bitter person in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. When you finally get out there and come together, you realize that you're not the only one. You're not just a victim. You know, there's so many people out there, and like you could find that confidence to truly be yourself, and someone that, you know, people want to be around. Your community gets easier as you grow, as you become more confident, as you become more self-aware, and that's something I've found over the years for sure. Yeah. I alienated myself before. I didn't want to, you know, be around many other people.
Right.
You know, I found you, and then here we are in a fantasy league with a bunch of
But you know what,
dudes from the gym.
Every time we educate people or we talk to people about our situation, we do it in a light manner. We do it in a comedical manner. And I think people really gravitate to that because it takes away the seriousness of our situation, allows them to listen instead of just judging right away.
Yeah, man, I completely agree with that. And I think so much of what our podcast is about, too, is trying to bring people together, give everyone a voice. You know, look at this guy.
Get a little workout in while he's talking. Good. This guy talks too much.
Jeez, yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and get my morning workout in while we're here.
We really want to just bring people together. You know, be support for those that don't feel like they have any. You know, we want to educate. We want to, you know, provide that emotional support. We want to bring that awareness to the forefront.
Absolutely.
And that's like our goal. And I know, you know, we truly have the same beliefs, you know, as Ultimate Medical, EasyStand. We all like want to innovate and create an impact from that.
Yeah.
And you know, so here we are just trying to spread the good message. Stoked to be around all these good people here today at the Abilities Expo.
Happy to be looking somebody face to face today, eye to eye.
We're finally looking down on that camera.
Finally.
What's up, camera? I mean, God's sakes.
But the real reason we're doing this though is just to enlighten people. Show them what's possible, life after SCI.
Absolutely. So, I mean, for Sonny and me, I mean, we're always here to empower,
absolutely,
entertain, and keep it real. You know what we do, so.
Keep your wheels up.
Yeah, baby. We hope you guys enjoyed this. Come check it out. We'll be at the Expo all weekend. We're at the EasyStand booth, 620. Come say what up.
I'm sure you can find us, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to tone it down today on the side. Yeah. All right, guys. We love you. We'll see you next time.